Hey you guys, it's Haley Hobson. I am here to teach you today how to host an online class or party or event or whatever you want to call it. And I just want to say I'm super excited to do this with you. I have been with doTERRA for a little over 3 years. I'm a double presidential diamond. And I've built a lot of my classes really using a lot of online methods, or built my business using a lot of online methods. Some of them actually recruiting people, some of them actually working with my team online, managing, organizing a lot of things, and some of them actually teaching classes as well. So I'm going to talk to you about different ways that we can do that and what you need in order to get set up. And it's actually really easy because teaching an online class can be super, super simple, and it allows you to get people in front of you that might not be able to come to the location that you are hosting your class. And that happens often, right? How many times do you guys invite people to classes and they don't show up, or they say they're showing up and then 5 minutes before they cancel on you? So having an online class can be really a valuable resource, and it doesn't have to be that complicated. I'm going to talk to you about some more complicated ways to do it so that you can actually market the class online and manage the invites and the RSVPs and even the autoresponder reminders that are going to go out to your group. But you can also do it as simple as just hosting a Zoom Hangout or a Google Hangout like I'm doing right now, and just inviting 2 or 3 people to your class. That's it, and teaching a class. And I'm actually doing 4 of those this week. That's how easy it is. So let's go ahead and get started with what you actually need to make that happen, okay? So what you're gonna need to do it sort of the more complicated way, I'm gonna call it, which is really, it's not complicated, it's just that I have been able to actually get massive amounts of people that I don't even know into classes by using the online web. And so I'm gonna teach you right now to grab a hold of a couple of concepts so that if you are marketing to a bigger network than you know you even have, you can actually control those RSVPs. And I've had sometimes thousands of people come to my classes or webinars that I host online. And what I want when I do those kinds of classes are some type of email autoresponder provider. That means that somebody's going to be getting an email from me, right, with the time and date and location, and it's going to be a reminder. And you can use things such as MailChimp, Aweber, I use Infusionsoft, and there's lots of other similar things out there. You also are going to need a landing page for your event. Now remember, we're talking a massive event. If you want to do some simple class for 2 people on your computer, you don't need this. But to do a bigger event, you want to have a landing page that is going to capture the emails and provide information about the class. And I'm going to break all these down in a few minutes. You also need a powerful, catchy, attention-grabbing title for your class. And ideally, you want to be marketing this on Facebook as well, or if there's another social media platform that you know that you use, that's going to be awesome. I've also liked to create Facebook invites. That's not necessarily where people are going to go, right? It's just an event, an invitation that's going to send them somewhere else. And I'll talk about that in a second. And then you need literally the video streaming or webinar service, i.e. what I'm doing right now, which is broadcasting this live, unlisted, so other people can't find it, but I'm broadcasting it live on Google Hangouts or something similar. When I did my class last night and the one that I'm doing tonight, I'm actually doing it on Zoom. And again, we'll get into detail on that. And then of course you need your guests, right? Who doesn't need guests? And if you're doing like a bigger version of it, some of these guests are going to come about because you are broadcasting your invitation live on the World Wide Web. And some of them are going to come about because you're literally running into people face to face and inviting them. And the class that I had last night, I actually did for a whole bunch of newer builders on my team who all invited their guests. And they just weren't feeling savvy enough to teach their first class yet. So I said, great, let's all hop on a Zoom Hangout and I'll teach a class for all of you. And it was super fun. It's a good way for me to get to know my team as well. And then you need a super catchy, powerful heading that's going to grab people's attention, okay? This is the process, all right? You need to have that powerful heading that's going to grab people's attention. If you have something that just says Essential Oils 101, I mean, a million people are doing that. Honestly, I would try to come up with something a little bit more creative, like why essential oils rock your world, right? Or what's all this hype about essential oils? Something super catchy that's going to grab people's attention, that's going to make them want to go. Now, when you create this description, the description of the event, both on your landing page and on your Facebook invite or event page, you've got to have that description be fulfilling. It's got to describe the event and why people should sign up, literally why they will benefit. Not just come hear about what essential oils can do for you, but get in there and get a little bit more personal and make people want to, need to, have to show up for that event. Sometimes people will register for the event and they won't even watch it. And it's so easy. All you got to do is press play. So what can you do in that description that makes people have to want to do it, right? And then you've got to make it abundantly clear how they can sign up. Like give them the time, the date, all time zones, since people are all over the world, etc., where it's happening. If I'm doing an online event and I'm posting it via Facebook, I'm making sure people know this is online. Don't register unless you're getting online. I do so many online events that sometimes when I do an event locally, I have to say to people, this is in Boulder. You cannot watch this online, right? So make it really clear where the event is happening, when it is happening, the exact time, the exact date. You've got all time zones captured. And even when you're creating that Facebook event page, you're making it super clear what link they're going to go to get that video streaming. All right. And then you're also going to have a powerful attention grabbing image. Now you got to make sure that you're not doing any copyright infringement, right? So you've got to make sure that you have an image that is yours, that you've taken, or that you have legal rights to. And it should be something that is awesome and grabs people's attention. Now, when you're creating the landing page, that's where you're going to capture people's emails. This is where people are literally going to sign up for the event. Now, you're probably asking, why do they want to sign up? Why can't you just broadcast the link? Well, I like to know who's coming because I want to have those email addresses so that I can actually remind people the event is happening, like a day before, an hour before. I can also send them the recording. And if there's anything else related to that event, like say I did a giveaway or some type of incentive or anything, I now have those people's email addresses that I can send an email to. Now, remember you guys, just because you're capturing email addresses for this event doesn't mean that you have a right to use those email addresses for anything else except this event. So you know as well as I do that you don't like ending up on people's email addresses. So let people watch your event, but don't start adding them to every single email that you send out for your business. And you also have to have a catchy heading, brief description, dates and time, and bullet points of the event on the landing page. So we talked about it being on the Facebook page as well. We talked about being, in your emails or wherever else you're having it, but on your landing page, you also need to have the description, the date and the time, and the bullet points and benefits of attending this event. So are you guys with me so far? We've got a landing page so people can actually sign up. In the emails that are being sent out, you're going to have details. You're going to create a Facebook event page too that you have all the details on, but you're going to make sure that they know they're going somewhere else for that event. It's a process. It's a process, and to newbies, it can be a little confusing. So if it's confusing, just go ahead and watch this video one more time. Now, the other thing that we're going to need is that landing page that will tie into your email autoresponder provider, all right? That means that the reason, I was just talking about this, that you have this landing page is so that you can grab these email addresses and it ties into that MailChimp or Aweber or Infusionsoft or whatever you're using, right? They're gonna work together synergetically so that all those emails go into your autoresponder provider. You're going to be able somehow to download or upload all of those emails in so that you can help yourself market that event. All right, now when you're finished, you're also going to have a thank you page. So once people register, people love to have a confirmation that they've actually registered for something. They love a thank you, especially if they pay for things. So your thank you page is going to tell registrants the place, the time, and it's going to tell them to place the time in their calendar and check their emails for updates. You want to pretend people are dummies when it comes to events. And you're probably laughing out there going, I'm that dummy that needs all these reminders. Well, guess what, you guys? So am I. We have our inboxes flooded these days with so many emails. I literally have to create folders for every topic I'm working on so I can get a lot of those emails out of my inbox and into specific folders so I can stay organized. So that thank you page is going to remind people when the event is, one more time, all time zones, that it's online, what that link is that they're going to click, and it's going to tell your people, hey guys, put this in your calendar. This is how to hold an online class for dummies, right? Just assume that everybody's dummy and you got to dummy-proof your event, all right? Now, the other thing that you want to do is pick how you want to host your class. What is going to be your technology of choice? You've got to grab that URL address that people will use to log in and view the event. So, for instance, this event is going to have a URL address, and that is how you're watching it, right? Somehow you're getting access to view this event, and you've got to do the same for your online events. And in your autoresponders, because you are going to be sending autoresponders up for a big event, you're going to set up the following emails: a registration confirmation, letting them know that they have registered and how to access the actual training or webinar, i.e. the URL link. You've got to have your reminder emails, reminding people of the value that you're providing and why they absolutely must attend. And you've got to provide the URL link to actually attend the event. Now, you want to make sure that your emails are going out probably immediately, thanking them when they register, 2 days before, the night before, an hour before. I absolutely love it, even in my regular calendar, that I get a notification on my calendar 30 minutes before I have any type of event, so that I know what I'm doing that day. I don't want to have to look at my phone all day long. So having those reminders out are awesome. And then you want to make sure, once again, that you have that URL link to attend in every reminder. And then a follow-up email after the event, thanking people for watching, highlighting what was covered, including the replay if there was one. Now, the follow-up is then going to be a couple days afterwards. And if you have a small group, I would actually call each one of them or text each one of them and, hey, did you get a chance to watch the class that I taught? And if you've got a massive list, obviously you want to use an autoresponder. And then you can use that list of people in future correspondence relating to that topic to keep them engaged, right? So if this is a class on essential oils and how you might enhance your athletic performance, using that email list to let them know that you have another essential oil class might be okay, but using that email list to tell them about some other program that you're promoting or a great recipe that you just created, I'm not sure about that. You guys need to be careful about that and how you're marketing to your lists, okay? Okay, so now the infrastructure is set up, but like I spoke about before, you still need a Facebook event page. And you must ensure that it's clear that people click on the link on the Facebook page to register for the event. The Facebook event is not the event. Now, I guess the Facebook event could be the event if you decided that you were just going to post comments for an hour nonstop on that event page, and that was going to be your class, or once every 30 minutes for a couple hours, and that was going to be your class. And I've done classes like that too. But that's not what I'm talking about today. I'm talking about doing a real live audio class. And in that case, your Facebook event page really needs to be clear to people. Because remember, this is marketing sometimes to dummies, right? That the event is somewhere else. Okay, I've had so many people ask me over and over and over again where the event is, or say, yes, they're coming on Facebook, but then they don't actually show up because they didn't realize that there was an actual link. So make that really clear. And then share that link to the landing page on all of your social media, all of your newsletters, all of your network, etc., everywhere you can to market that event. Privately, text messaging, calling people up, sending private emails, awesome, awesome, awesome ideas. So make sure that you actually pitch up early for your event and get prepared. You're gonna knock it out of the park. I know you will. You might not feel like you will the first time. You might need a little prep time. I felt like my first several events were kind of shady, right? They needed a little work, but I got up and I got there early, always to make sure that at least I was prepared. You can't expect it to be perfect the first time and hit a home run every single time. These skills and knowledge will take you guys time to develop. So don't worry. Just keep working on it and improving a couple of things every time until you are a pro. And you can even do a practice run for your hubby or your wife or your partner or your friend, or just something super informal. All right. So now remember, this event that I was describing is when you are wanting to host some type of what you see online webinar, right, for your people. If you want to do something super more cash and informal, you don't have to do all these landing pages and stuff. You don't have to do all these autoresponders. Last night I taught a class for 5 people. Tonight I'm teaching a class for a couple people. I know who they are. I didn't go through the hassle of all of this. I just text message them to make sure they're coming on board. I'll follow up with them after to see what they thought about it. And it was super simple. So do what's in your comfort zone. You guys are awesome. You're going to knock it out of the park. I know you will. And just always feel free to reach out if you've got any questions. Thanks so much for your time.